What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Linko Show. It's your boy Rayshawn Link, aka Linko, aka All About That Action, coming to you from the crib. We got a lot to discuss. This has been a crazy ass week as far as trades go, people switching teams, a lot of banter back and forth on the message board. We're gonna get into all of that right after this. It's your boy Linko Show. Let's get it. Alright, everybody, so welcome back. We just gonna jump right into it. It's been a very crazy, hectic week in the East Coast Football League, a lot of player movement. But I think the first thing we're gonna do is start off with a recap of the game that I did last week. Windsor Flyers against the Connecticut Thundercats, excuse me. Windsor Flyers went down to New Haven and handled business. That's really all you can say about that. They beat the Thundercats 41-0. And what I have to say is, for the Thundercats, your commitment level has to raise it up a notch. Right through the second quarter, they had guys showing up to the game. You know, I don't even understand. If you're showing up in the second quarter, why even bother showing up in the first place? You know what I'm saying? You gotta come ready to play. Your head's gotta be in the game. This is against a team, the Windsor Flyers, who was all about that get back. They lost to them earlier, and they wanted some payback. And they were motivated and ready to play, and unfortunately the Thundercats weren't about that. I said in the earlier episode of the Linko Show that the Thundercats were on a little bit of a Super Bowl hangover. I don't think that's what it is at all. I just don't think that team is very good. Some athletic quarterbacks, but they have a couple quarterbacks, which typically translates into you don't have a quarterback. So they might want to get that position figured out. And again, the commitment level, you had a home game. The Windsor Flyers traveled, got everybody there ready to go with payback on the mind. Whereas the Windsor Flyers, as far as the Connecticut Thundercats home game, you got guys showing up to the game in the second quarter. It's inexcusable and unacceptable. And if I was the coach, I would have a lot to say about that. So we'll see if they can get some things tied up on their end and try to bounce back. Then a whole, they were a successful team last year, but taking a bit of a slide, as tends to happen. When you have success, people come in with a high horse and they not really as motivated that next year. So we'll see if the Connecticut Thundercats can get it turned around. As far as the Windsor Flyers go, hats off to those guys. James Benedito, quarterback, 5 touchdown passes. He was the Bishop III Media Player of the Game. And just like any selfless leader, when I gave him the trophy, he quickly wanted to hand it off to one of his linemen, because as any quarterback does, they know that they are not going to have that success without a good line. So hats off to them. 5 touchdown passes. I believe he had 2 touchdown passes to number 5, the receiver number 5. Forgive me for not knowing your name, young man, but you had a great day. But Windsor Flyers went down to New Haven and took care of business, and that's what you want to see. Again, James Benedito, quarterback, 5 touchdown passes. Windsor Flyers are 3-0 right now, getting off to a great start. You'd love to see it. Got the payback that they were looking for, and they're on to the bigger and better things in the next game. So congratulations to those guys. The Marlboro Shamrocks. I don't know what's going on in Marlboro. I don't know what's going on with the Rock Block. I know that Harry's going to get them dudes turned around. He's going to keep coaching his ass off. But I think as far as the recruitment go, they might have dropped the ball on this one. Now, I'm not saying that they didn't go out and recruit talented players. They definitely did. They recruited some talented guys. But it just seems like they didn't go out and get guys that were going to mix well with the foundation that the Shamrocks had previously had going on that team. 3 games in, they're 1-2, and unfortunately, they've had some deflections. They've lost their quarterback, David Donahue. We'll get into more of that later. And other players who have gone to the Connecticut Panthers. So it's made that game an awful lot more interesting. I'm looking forward to that one. I'll be hitting up Jim probably to make sure I can go get live coverage of that game. But it's sad to see. You know what I'm saying? I mean, as a Patriots fan, I understand wholeheartedly. When you run through the competition like a bad burrito, and guys just have no answer for what you're bringing to the table. When you have a down year, people take advantage. They lost big to the Admirals to start the season. Got a little win against Springfield, I believe. And they lost 24-7 to the Bandits. A Bandits team that lost their quarterback, from what I understand, the injury. We're not going to dive too much into that because I don't give away the family secrets. But they lost to a team that, suffered injuries and continued to not be able to put up points. I don't understand what's going on with the offense of the Marlboro Shamrocks. I do know Harrison Ingalls is a great offensive coordinator. His offenses in years past has put up crazy amounts of points. So I'm not going to point the finger at him. Donahue, championship quarterback last year. Success, MVP at the AA level. It's kind of hard to point the finger at him as well. Maybe it just wasn't a good mix as far as quarterback, offensive coordinator. You hope that's the case because you hate to see two great competitors have struggles early in the season. But they've gone ahead and went their separate ways, and we'll see if this is the remedy to get both of them, as far as the Shamrocks and Donahue, jump started to get, their seasons going in the right direction. But to this point, it's been, unfortunately, an utter failure for both. Now, there's been other deflections from the Marlboro Shamrocks. I believe that Aaron Davis left. I believe he was trying to go to other teams. They're just losing talent. It's sad to see because, again, great team going all the way back to the Fury days. They battled every year. They had a great culture, and you just hate to see it. But they're very resilient. They're a resilient group down in Marlboro. I know that they're gonna get this turned around. Maybe not this year, but I know going forward that they will. I know good players like Peyton Crosby have reached out. Adam, Harry, get your hands on that guy. I'm shocked that he's not even with GSD and he's a free agent right now. Get your hands on that guy, Harry. Get him on that offense. He's a great slot receiver. Peyton Crosby, go show those boys what you can do, man. I have no doubt in my mind that Marlboro's going to get it figured out. They have all the resources. They have the support from the fans. And they have a winning culture. They're going to get it turned around. Again, maybe it won't be this year, but you can't win it every year. So this is maybe their year to take a step back, reevaluate, maybe not just go after talent, maybe get back to getting those culture guys, and Marlboro will be back. I have no doubt in my mind, man. I have no doubt in my mind. The Haverhill Hitmen. Boy, I didn't think I would be having this conversation this year. Haverhill, I followed that team. I did a lot of their games last year. They were a great bunch. Won a lot of games, won the national championship, won the East Coast Football League Single A championship. And man, have they struggled this year. Off to an 0-3 start. Topic of conversation on the forum. They got a great leader in Coach Emilio. I'm just hoping that they can get this figured out. 0-3 at this point. It seems like a long shot to make the playoffs, especially with how the offense has been playing. But again, along with the coach, the quarterback, Isaiah Casio, great quarterback. You just have to think, again, sometimes when you win that championship, you're coming off that championship high, you have that long off season to celebrate, and you kind of lose focus. And maybe getting your teeth kicked in a little bit is what you need to get that focus back. And, again, they got a great group there. They'll get it figured out. Again, maybe not this year. Hopefully they can keep the group of talent that they have down there together. And maybe next year they bounce back. But unfortunate this year. Again, they lost to the Granite State Destroyers 17-6 this past week. And off to an 0-3 start. Hate to see it when it comes to championship squads, but again, when you're riding high, sometimes that dose of reality is what you need to get you back focused, and maybe this is that dose of reality that the Haverhill Hitmen need. So we'll see if they can bounce back this week. The Mill City Eagles versus the Marshfield Hurricanes. Man, did I get this one wrong? I went with the Marshfield Hurricanes because they got all the talent in the world. All the talent in the world. They got a great quarterback. They got great skill players. I thought they was going to win this game. Didn't end up happening that way. Mill City, resilient young bunch. They got the win. Mill City coming away with the 45-28 win. Surprising that they put up 45. If I thought a team was going to put up 45 points in this game, it definitely would have been Marshfield Hurricanes that I thought was going to do that. But shout out and hats off to the Mill City Eagles. Great group of players there. That quarterback they got, RJ Mahar at receiver. They got another stud at receiver slash tight end number 88. Great players everywhere. I'm actually looking forward to doing this game this week. I've been excited watching them all season long, and it's good to see a young team do it the right way, recruiting, keeping everybody together, and just building step by step. And it's impressive to see them off to this 3-0 start. Again, I got it wrong last week with my prediction of the Hurricanes winning. But hey, the Hurricanes is a good team. I know that they're going to bounce back. I know, again, sometimes you need to get smacked in the face to wake up. You know what I'm saying? The Hurricanes, they might have thought that this was going to be a cakewalk. A lot of AAA players on that team playing in the AA level as they try to get things back together. And maybe they thought it was going to be a little easier than it was. But again, get smacked in the face, open those eyes, and I know those boys are going to get refocused. Vassetti's going to get refocused. Hamlin's going to get refocused. And those boys, I feel bad for whoever their next team is that they're going to play. That's all I'm going to say. But hats off to the Mill City Eagles, off to a 3-0 start. Looking forward to seeing you guys this week. All right, so that's a recap of a couple games that interested me from this past week. Shout out to everybody that got victories in last week's action. And good luck to everybody that's competing this week. All right, y'all, we're going to get into some predictions this week. It's been a couple weeks since I get them, but, you know, birthday, 4th of July. Man, I'm busy, man. You know what I'm saying? I put in my 20 years of playing ball, so I had my little hiatus. Now I'm back. Let's get into these predictions. Let's see. Boston Bandits against the Northeast Panthers. Let me think about that one. You already know where I'm going with that. Boston Bandits winning that one. All right, next up, we got the Connecticut Militia against the Southern New England Admirals. I don't really think I need to say much more about this one. Right now, Southern New England Admirals is the hands-down favorite to win the championship by anybody with a pulse who's been watching these games. So I'm going to go ahead and give this week's victory to the Southern New England Admirals, keeping their train going. Let's go. All right, the next game we got Western Mass Raiders versus the Marlboro Shamrocks. Western Mass Raiders coming off their first win of the season after getting absolutely pummeled by the Admirals the week before that. Marlboro Shamrocks in a bit of turmoil right now. A lot of players that left, a lot going on with that team. One team semi on the rise, one team kind of in flux right now. Let's see. You know what? I'm gonna give this one to the Shamrocks. I'm gonna give it to the Shamrocks. I like the coaching staff. I like the heart, and I know Coach Harry is a genius with that notebook. So I'm going to give it to the Shamrocks, the heart of a champion. I'm going to say that they get things together. They get things figured out. They got rid of the bad, out with the new additions, back to what you're used to. Shamrocks with the victory over the Western Mass Raiders. All right, up next we got the Connecticut Mustangs and the Hartford Rebels. Let me see. The Connecticut Mustangs 2-1 right now. Hartford Rebels 1-2. Connecticut Mustangs, they've been playing tough this year. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and give that victory this week to the Connecticut Mustangs with the victory over the Hartford Rebels. Up next, we got the Troy City Titans against GSD, Granite State Destroyers. I'm gonna give this victory to the Granite State Destroyers. The Granite State Destroyers have been playing good this year. They have victories against some teams that were championship contenders to start the season, but they've showed that they're the team that in the end has got it together. They're on a mission, and I'm going to give this to the veteran squad, Granite State Destroyers, with the victory over the Troy City Titans. Mill City Eagles versus the Valley Generals. This game here, this is a good one. Mill City Eagles 3-0. Valley Generals also undefeated. Right now, their record stands on the website at least at 2-0-1. But two undefeated teams. It's going to be an interesting game here. The Valley Generals have made some noise early in this season, getting some victories, putting people on notice. And same thing with Mill City. Mill City has shown that they have grown. They're ready to show that they're, ready to compete for a championship. And because of that, I'm going to give this victory to the Mill City Eagles. They've just shown that they are a complete team, offensively, defensively, and yeah, I think they'll continue to get that winning train going this week. Mill City Eagles with the victory over the Valley Generals. All right, Randolph Oilers against the Marshfield Hurricanes. Randolph Oilers, they have a stud at quarterback. Athlete, can do basically anything. He can throw, he can run, but it hasn't translated to victories. Randolph Oilers still trying to find their first season in the East Coast Football League, but I've definitely been impressed with the way this team has played. Marshfield coming off a tough loss to the Mill City Eagles, but again, I think the Mill City Eagles right now are just a well-oiled machine, doing what they got to do to get that championship. And I think maybe the Marshfield Hurricanes just overlooked them a little bit. But I don't think that's going to happen this week. I see the Marshfield Hurricanes beating the Randolph Oilers. Randolph Oilers, again, good squad, good quarterback. I think they're still trying to figure some things out as a team as a whole. Randolph Oilers brand has been around for a while, but the team is still new, trying to figure things out. Marshfield Hurricanes have a lot of veteran players, a lot of players that have played together, and I think they just overlooked the Mill City Eagles this week. I don't think they're going to overlook the Randolph Oilers, and I think that they're going to get the victory. Marshfield Hurricanes over the Randolph Oilers. All right, the New England Black Panthers against the Tri-State Bruins. I'm going to go with the Black Panthers on this one. Black Panthers been a little slow this year for these guys. Black Panthers so far this year, 2-1, but they've given up just about as many points. They've given up more points than they've actually scored. So, Black Panthers, they look good in the spring, but again, that doesn't translate into the summer season. And that's what I was worried about with this team. But I'm going to give them the victory against the Bruins. Black Panthers over the Bruins, Tri-State Bruins. All right, Connecticut Thundercats against the Rhode Island Raptors. Connecticut Thundercats, I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. The effort that you guys put out, just as far as the commitment you show to each other by showing up on time, just what I've seen offensively, defensively, I'm not impressed. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this one to the Rhode Island Raptors. Thundercats, you were in the championship game last year. You're going to have to dig deep down and find that formula that you had last year to try to turn things around, because what I saw last week against the Windsor Flyers, I definitely wasn't impressed, and I think that the Rhode Island Raptors should take the victory in this game. Rhode Island Raptors over the Connecticut Thundercats. All right, the next game, the Connecticut Lightning against the Windsor Flyers. Windsor Flyers, period. On to the next one. All right, the last game I got is the Southington Gems against the Roddy Ravens. Roddy Ravens, both these teams actually coming in 2-0. Roddy Ravens scored 48 points, ain't been scored on yet. Whereas the Southington Gems, I believe, have scored 40 points and given up 10. So both teams are able to put up points. Roddy Ravens defense have yet to score, have yet to give up a point. I'm going to go with the Gems in this one. I'm going to go with the Gems. From the film that I've seen, I like the playmakers that they have. And I think that they're going to keep the ball rolling with this one. I got the Southington Gems against the Roddy Ravens, going to the Southington Gems. That's going to do it for the predictions. Again, this is all for pure entertainment. Stay out my motherfucking inbox. I said it once. I said it twice. I'm going to say it again. All for entertainment. I don't get to watch every single team. I just go based off of what I think. I watch a lot of the games. I don't get to watch them all. I just look at a lot of the stats. I go based off of what I feel. And these predictions is what I feel. So take it how you want it. But however you take it, stay out my motherfucking inbox. That's going to do it for Linko with the projections. I'm going to holler at your boy.